request you to introduce our next speaker.
So, Ms. Shilpa ma'am, she has completed her MSc from Mumbai, and she is a consultant dietitian. And we will be hearing from her regarding the intermittent fasting. So, I call upon Ms. Shilpa ma'am.
Hello, everybody. My name is Shilpa Joshi, and I'm going to be speaking about intermittent fasting. So, we know that bad diets actually kill more people globally than other kind of metabolic or non-metabolic or communicable diseases, and hence knowing about diet is very important. Now, this is Jack Dorsey, who is CEO of Twitter, and he actually made intermittent fasting very, very popular because he ate only, on weekends he did not eat. He fasted for 22 hours a day, walked a lot, and therefore maintained his health. Now, what are the benefits of caloric restriction? They promote weight loss, and it represents a dietary method that has numerous positive effects in obese individual. Caloric restriction improves health status of normal weight people also. It is one of the few methods known to prolong life, and therefore all the sadhu mahatmas in older days went on fasting. Reduction of caloric intake by 60 to 70% of daily requirement actually increases longevity by 30 to 50% in many animal species. It has been proposed a couple hypotheses. One hypothesis claims that the reason why this happens is because of modification of energy metabolism. Other hypothesis states that mitochondria actually reduces the production of oxygen radicals, decreases oxidative stress, and therefore damage produced by accumulation of these reactive species to protein, lipids, and nucleic acids. Though reduction of caloric intake has a positive effect on longevity, it is difficult to adopt it in daily routine. Therefore, intermittent fasting has been intended as a solution that takes advantage of caloric restriction benefits, but it does not have any side effects. Now, this is one study where there was an effect of meal frequency on weight and metabolic parameters, which was done in Czech Republic, where people of BMI between 27 to 50 were randomized. Their A1C was between 6 and 12% to two kinds of meal patterns, 6 meal pattern or 2 meal pattern for 12 weeks with a crossover. So that it had a crossover design, and what they found that individuals with 2 meal patterns actually decreased more weight, improved their hepatic fat, decreased their plasma fasting glucose, dropped their A1C as compared to the individuals who were eating many times a day. So, therefore, it was observed that intermittent fasting was a better form of caloric restriction than continuous caloric restriction study. Now, positive effects of intermittent fasting on glucose homeostasis may be mediated by nervous system, mainly by decreasing production of brain-derived neurotropic factor, which increases the resistance of neuron to dysfunction and degeneration in animal models. Okay. Also, it has been shown that circadian rhythm actually influences the way weight is lost. Eating patterns later in day may also adversely affect the influence the success of weight loss therapy. Circadian rhythm must continuously adapt to and synchronize our physiology to environment. So we know fasting is a spiritual discipline, and all religions across earth are propagating fasting. So intermittent fasting, there are three kinds of programs. There is 5:2 program where you eat normally for 5 days, fast for 2 days. Lean gains where you eat only 8 to 10 hours each day, and stop is fast for 1 day and eat for other 2 days. Then there is warrior diet where you don't eat for 20 hours and then eat one meal. Then the most popular one is 16-8 method, where you can fast for 16 hours and eat for 8 hours, and there is Durbo diet. Now, there are a lot of anecdotal evidence about continuous energy restriction and intermittent energy restriction, but there is one trial which is Helena's trial, which is a 1 year controlled trial of 150 individuals, obese or overweight, which were randomly assigned to intermittent caloric restriction, that is two self-selected non-consecutive days with 25% of estimated energy and 5 days a week without energy restriction, continuous caloric restriction with 20% decrease in estimated energy requirement, and a control group which was given just information about health. And what they found, that this study found that there was no significant difference in adipose tissue transcriptome measured in the all 82 pre-selected genes between intermittent caloric restriction and continuous caloric restriction. Secondary outcomes, a wide range of complementary well-established risk markers also showed no difference between either group. These findings indicated that time of energy restriction does not induce differential transcriptional regulation of adipose tissue metabolism at similar net energy intake. Results of HELENA are in line of growing evidence that neither intermittent caloric restriction nor continuous caloric restriction are superior to other with respect to weight loss, maintenance, and improvement of cardiovascular risk factors. And only problem was with intermittent caloric restriction, there was a dropout rate because the dietary regime is very, very strict. So therefore, for more compliance, time restricted feeding was proposed, wherein you do not eat for about 16 to 18 hours and eat for next 6 to 8 hours. And there are a lot of trials which are being done on time restricted feeding as well. So in conclusion, ideally, sustainable dietary approaches should be satiating, satisfying to meet nutritional requirement, promote weight loss, preserve lean body mass, and ensure long-term safety. However, all this is difficult to achieve. It has been shown that intermittent caloric restriction has been effective at inducing clinically significant weight loss of 5 to 10%, and for weight loss maintenance of less than 1 year, and improving cardiometabolic risk factor in men and women. This leaves us with more options for effective individualizing dietary regimes, and it is hoped that it could effectively improve the effectiveness of obesity treatment, resulting in better long-term adherence and sustained health benefits. Thank you so much for a patient hearing.